It is now becoming increasingly apparent that the federal government that the political elite class globalists left behind for Trump to inherit was completely inadequate to meet this crisis. And yet, he didn't expand the government to address the crisis. This is why they can't stop him. This is why they can't beat him. They expected Trump to have been reduced to helpless tears by now, raging at a federal government that sandbagged him and bogged him down at every turn with FDA regulations and more. But he is not one of them. He keeps doing what they don't expect. He goes to Ford Motor Company, he goes to Tesla, he goes to Walmart and to CVS. He goes to the private sector to fix the problems. And they can't stop him from doing that. Look at the chloroquine issue. He touts the successful clinical trials doctors had in various countries using it. Immediately, the globalist system screams for him to shut up about this. It's giving people false hope, and besides, with all the regulations, it'll take months. They started giving the chloroquine drug cocktail to people in New York State with the virus today, beginning this morning. What happened to all those people saying that this would take months? Where'd they go? Cat got their tongue? I'll keep saying it because they keep proving it. They never dealt with somebody like Donald Trump before. Ever. He's been president for 3.5 years, and they'll literally never understand him. Let me tell you what the globalist scam is, why the political elite class that's been selling this country out for decades created an ever-expanding government that constantly needs more power and control over our lives. Supposedly, it's to fix all our problems for us. But that's not what's driving the ever-expanding globalist government bus. Sure, they tell you they need massive, ever-expanding regulations to control more and more of how the private sector does its work to keep us all safe. But they're lying. See, government actually can't fix most of your problems for you. But if they can convince you they can, they just need a little more power, just a little more control. You'll vote to keep expanding the government. It's a system set up to perpetuate itself, to hide something. What are they hiding? The political elite class is hiding the fact that the monstrosity we call the federal government is now about 20 times larger than it needs to be. And it literally can't fix most of the problems it claims to be able to solve. This political elite class has been gorging itself on your money to perpetuate a system that can't even do half of what it claims it does with any kind of success or efficiency. And they do their best to hide this from you while constantly badgering you to make it bigger. But that's not all they've been up to. Turns out, this political elite class has been also taking in massive amounts of foreign bribery money from overseas, from places like China, Russia, and elsewhere, to allow the outsourcing of critical infrastructure to hostile regimes. People who cared about this country would never have paved the way for stuff like letting the CCP regime handle our important national security business, or letting Russia buy control of most of the U.S.'s uranium stocks. They haven't been just gorging themselves on your money. The greed of this elite class is so transcendent. They had no problem selling this country out and actually exposing it to massive harm and security breaches in exchange for bribes. Think about that the next time some airhead asks you to vote for Joe Biden. And now, President Trump threatens their entire global enterprise. This pandemic stripped bare The entire lunacy and very real dangers of the globalist road these elites started this country down. Well, Trump is going to reverse course. They're desperate to stop him. And they're failing. They can't stop him because they can't predict what he's going to do next because, one, he won't tell them in advance, and two, they literally lie to themselves about him all day long. They can't predict him, and they'll never understand him. Good. Good. All will be well.